All right, everybody, welcome back for another deep dive. Today we're tackling those moments when,
Yeah.
maybe a little spat with a friend feels way bigger than it should.
Oh, yeah.
Like we're talking end of the world kind of stuff.
For sure.
And,
Yeah.
to help us explore this, we've got a really interesting song.
Okay.
It's called Me Amas Koniec Wodny.mp3.
Ah.
And even if you don't speak Polish,
Right.
that title kind of hints at what we're dealing with here at the end of the war.
Mm.
But it's not talking about like tanks and,
Right.
armies clashing. It's more about those personal battles we have with friends.
Interesting.
And I think a lot of us can relate to that feeling.
Definitely.
So how does this song actually try to make peace, so to speak?
Well, right off the bat, the singer is like, I can't even remember what we were fighting about.
Really?
There's this line, Piako ni zamarzo, which basically means hell hasn't frozen over.
Uh-huh.
Like lightening up a bit, poking fun at the whole situation.
So using humor to kind of step back from the drama. Exactly. And I think that's something we all do sometimes.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
like we blow things out of proportion and then realize, wait a minute,
Exactly.
maybe it wasn't worth all that angst.
Yeah. And then the song gets even deeper because it starts comparing these little arguments to
Feel it.
real wars, the ones that cause actual troubled times.
Wow. That's a powerful contrast.
It is, right?
Yeah.
It makes you think twice about freaking out over whose turn it is to do the dishes.
It really puts things in perspective. You're right.
And throughout the song, you keep hearing this phrase, Dogadushmi sai,
What does that mean?
let's make up.
Hmm.
Simple as that.
Mm.
And it's repeated over and over, almost like a mantra.
That's interesting. Do you think that repetition could ever come across as pushy? I don't know. Maybe depending on the situation.
Yeah, that's a good point. Maybe sometimes it could sound a little desperate or even manipulative.
Right. It all depends on the context of the friendship, I guess.
Absolutely. But then there's this other detail in the song that I found really interesting.
Yeah.
These friends, they have this shared dream of going on a yacht trip around the world.
Oh, wow.
So even though they're arguing, they still have this bigger connection, this goal that unites them.
Yeah. It reminds us that friendships have these deeper layers, these common aspirations that can help us overcome those little bumps in the road.
Exactly. So maybe the takeaway here is that arguments are inevitable, but it's all about keeping things in perspective.
I think so. Remembering that we often have more in common with our friends than the things that divide us. And like you said, keeping those real wars in mind can help.
Definitely. So next time you find yourself getting all worked up over something small, think of this song.
Yeah, take a step back.
Right.
Remember the bigger picture. And hey, maybe even imagine yourself sailing off on that yacht together.
Exactly. And with that, I think we've reached the end of our deep dive for today. Thanks for joining us. And until next time, keep the peace out there, folks.